What's going on, guys? Welcome to a new video on the channel. I am Oliver Air, tattooist of 12 years. I hold nothing back on this channel, and today I'm going to talk about the industry and why I don't think it's saturated. Let me first start by saying this. People keep telling me, and I keep seeing artists quit their jobs, right? And I'm kind of glad they are, because it's like, I know it sounds mental, but I'm kind of glad they are, because it just proves that there's so much more work to be done with you guys, and people that are struggling and are broke, right? And can't make it in the industry. I keep saying to people, the tattoo industry is not saturated. All I get is people telling me, Ollie, the tattoo industry's saturated now. There's too many artists, there's too many studios, it's impossible to stand out. And honestly, that is one of the things that biggest lies people tell themselves, right? And today I'm going to break down the real reason the tattoo industry isn't saturated, and why most artists are broke or struggling, and how you can actually dominate your city if you approach this the right way, right? So, whether you're new to tattooing or you've been doing this for years, like I have, this might completely change how you look at the industry. And let me say this: I started investing in marketing, information and courses, etc. When I started opening the Holy Grail Studios here in Peterborough, the UK, I was like, right, okay, so I do well from my name and my followers and stuff like this on Instagram, because I use Instagram a lot and I do post quite a bit on there, but I didn't post enough. I thought posting once every 3 or 4 days was enough. Even when I had a couple of quiet weeks, I'd be like, shit, there's nothing else to post. I can't post anything. I haven't tattooed anybody. There's so much more you can post. Um, and I think the reason people think tattooing is saturated is because the entry level looks busy, right? Everyone's got a machine, everyone's got an Instagram page, everyone's doing cheap walk-ins, or taking whatever client they can get, right? So, but that's not the industry. That's the bottom layer of the industry. It's overcrowded because it's easy to enter, and most people stay stuck there forever. And the people that are at the bottom, right, and do well and have clients week in week out, are the people that use social media like it's their life, right? So they're constantly posting, and that is half of the battle, But what where I'm looking, is the top of the industry, the skilled artists, the ones with real branding, real client experience, real marketing. That section of the industry, the top, is practically empty still. There's unlimited demand for quality, always has been, always will be, right? And here's the truth: anyone can post tattoos, very few can post quality tattoos, right? Most artists don't study. I bought a course yesterday. I bought a fucking course on shading yesterday, a completely different technique, because I wanted to level up, right? I'm looking to add more information to my arsenal. Um, and most don't practice deliberately. So, most don't understand light, contrast, texture, layering, healing, longevity, none of it. So, and clients aren't stupid anymore, right? They scroll past 100 mid artists to find that one person who clearly knows what they're doing, right? So, top tier skill is rare, and rare things aren't saturated. Um, Branding isn't saturated. Most tattooists run their social media like it's 2012, mate. Yeah, random posts, no brand. I'm guilty of this, guys. By the way, I am guilty of this, because I didn't know any better, and I've invested in myself to learn as much as I can about this shit, so I can tell you guys and help you guys, because there is a real problem. I've seen a lot of social media posts about this over the last week, um, of artists saying it's the worst time they've ever felt. But there has to come a point where you think, well, no wonder no one takes you seriously, because you've got no brand, right? You've got no way of communicating to your target audience. And branding is the easiest way to separate yourself instantly. You don't need millions of followers. You don't even need 10,000 followers. You need a clear identity that makes people think this artist knows exactly who they are. And trust me, almost nobody in tattooing does this properly. So is branding saturated? Not even slightly. I'll go further into this. Experience isn't saturated. And this is a big one. Most artists think clients pay for the tattoo. No, clients pay for the experience. It's how you want to look at it. There's a moth on my fucking light and it's doing me in, bruv. Um, so yeah, clients pay for the experience, right? Professionalism, reassurance, communication, comfort, massive one. Trust, studio vibe, how the studio is, does it look sick? The energy, the reliability, that's a massive one. I see a lot of tattoo artists. Actually, do you know what? Let me tell you this story. I don't give a fuck if he fucking watches this video. But there's a guy called Chris in our city, right? He's not here anymore. I think he's out doing whatever he is. He's got a massive problem with drugs, right? And basically, this client came in, a client of Jay's, and he was talking about the experience that he had with um, Chris, and it was unbelievable. What he told, I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to call him out, but I mean, I kind of have, but fuck it. People need to understand and people need to learn that they need to do better. Um, he is a good tattooist, but he's just got problems where he can't. He likes the party lifestyle. You have to take this shit serious. Like you can be good, but then you ruin it because of your lifestyle. I used to be a bit like that. I wasn't massively on drugs. I've never taken drugs in my life. But I did, like, when the money started coming in and stuff like this, I've never seen that level of money before, and I went a bit crazy for a couple of years. And that's where you have to have a good circle around you. That's where you have to have a good family, a good circle, and someone like me that you watch that talks you out of being a fucking idiot. Um, and you know, when this person said what he said, I was like, wow. There was multiple things as well. I was like, wow. He was like, I'm never gonna. And do you know what? Like, he's not the only person that's come into my studio and said this about this person. He's. I think there's been about three people come into the studio and said the same things. The drug use, you know, paying £1,000 a day, which is a stupid amount of money, and if he can charge that, that's cool. Whatever. I don't think it's worth it personally, but that's cool. Um, for a stencil, they would come in and he'd long out the stencil for a whole day and charge someone for a fucking stencil. Like, it's customer experience. The experience is 70% of why someone chooses you over the next artist, and most artists don't even realize it. Which is why the ones who do take it seriously dominate without even needing insane skill. I think I'm a good tattooist, but I don't think I'm like one of the world's best. I like what I do. I think there's room for improvement, which is why I bought the course. And this is why, the ones who do take it seriously dominate without even needing to to go all out, Um, the market demand is higher than ever as well, guys. Yeah, social media has made tattooing global. And I think I've seen the tattoo industry get even bigger over the last year. I mean, it's nearly the end of 2025, and this year's been extremely good for me. I've been booked out all year, every single fucking day. I think I've had 3 days where haven't tattooed, right? So, and I've seen people fly from different countries to come and see me because of the experience and what I take serious. Excuse me. People book artists strictly off of reels as well. This is a massive one. Clients don't care anymore about location. They care about skill and the vibe. And here's the key point, right? The number of people wanting tattoos has grown massively faster than the number of quality artists. So how is this a saturation problem? It's not. It's the complete opposite, right? Let me tell you why most artists struggle. This is going to be good. And let me be brutally honest with you guys, right? Most artists are struggling not because the industry is saturated, but because their strategy is saturated. Everyone's posting the same angles, the same captions, the same style of content, the same cheap pricing. If you blend in, you lose, right? If you stand out, clients chase you. That's what I've always said. That's the real difference. Success in tattooing is not about being better than thousands of artists. You only need to position yourself better than the 20 to 30 artists in your niche. And if you get good at tattooing and you start to become at the top of your city or town, the top isn't crowded. I've been booked out all year for a reason. If you go to any city and ask people to name the best tattooist there, what happens? Right? They'll only name 3 or 4. Yeah? Why? Because there's hardly anyone at the top. The top is empty. 3 or 4 artists, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's room for 5, there's room for 6, there's room for 7, there's room for 8. You know what I mean? Everyone else blends in. That's underneath the lower part of the industry. So if you take tattooing seriously, the craft, leveling up, teaching yourself new things, the branding, the experience, the content, you literally have no competition, guys. You become the reference point, or one of them. You become the artist people mention first when they get asked that question. So no, I don't think the tattoo industry is saturated. It's only saturated at the bottom. And if you're watching this, you're clearly aiming for the top tier, because I give you the top tier fucking knowledge and information, right? I don't hold anything back. And if you do want help building that, the branding, the social media strategy, the content that actually brings clients in, that's exactly what I teach in my social media accelerator program. And I'm only taking on 10 people a month, so I can give proper attention to everyone, right? If there's a spot open, it will be in the description. But 10, that's all I'm doing. I'm taking 10 people on to work one-to-one with me, and that's it. I will go through everything. I'll go through what your social media page looks like, your branding, what you can do better. I'll change your whole fucking shit up so it fits the top tier, right? And I'll give you my honest truth and honest opinions about if you need to learn this, you need to go away and learn this, while I sort your social media out and tell you and give you the guidance and give you a blueprint on when to post, what to post, how to post, what hooks to use, etc., etc., how to brand yourself in the right way. You need to go off and learn this. I can see on your work that this is where you're lacking in your work, right? You need to go and learn that. And I will probably give you one of the courses that I have for a massively discounted price, maybe half price or something like this. And so then, I'm giving you even more information, even more skill set for you to go and work on that, because I think you need to, if you need to. But even if you don't join, right, the social media accelerator program, take this video as proof that tattooing has more opportunity than ever. Just don't play the same game as the artists who are stuck. Just play a smarter one. All right, guys. And with that being said, I hope you're all well. I'll stick the link in the description for the social media accelerator program. If you do want to join, it'd be great. Again, it's one-to-one with me. There's 10 spots available, right? There's 10 spots available, and I'm only doing 10 spots a month. So if these 10 people stay on past the month, they might even. Do you know what it is for me, right? I'm not charging a lot for this. I like to help people, and I like to see people win, right? And I like to give, because I know I'm not going to be in this industry forever, right? So I want to start passing the batons to people that want to invest in themselves. I want to pass the baton of my knowledge over to people because I'm not going to be in this industry forever. I had a deep chat with myself over the last year, this year, and I'm coming out sooner rather than later, to be honest. Um, but I have a very deep understanding of the industry and a very deep understanding of tattooing, and it's given me a great life. But it will be time to move on at some point. And I want to start passing the baton on. And I've gained so much. I've got so much knowledge about the industry. It would be good to pass it on. Um, I've put myself in I've put myself in situations where I was homeless. I came from nothing. I taught myself how to tattoo. I I put myself out there and around people in the early stages of my career so I can learn from the best. And that's what I do. And that's what I've always done. And you can see my podcast on here as well. It's the same. I still put myself around some of the top people in the industry, to the point where brands like Dynamic and Bishop have sent me care packages of free shit because I have built a name for myself, and I've always wanted to do that. Um, and listen, the industry it's a really great industry to be in, but it's also a very bad one to be in as well because it is saturated, but only at the bottom. And people need to invest in themselves to stand out. Otherwise, you're going to be one of the people quitting. So keep this video in mind, guys. I'm going to jump off, and yeah, I hope you're well, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.